Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. As the build to Hard to Kill continues, what do we have on tonight's show, huh? What is going on Impact tonight as, more Hard to Kill build continues in New York City? We kick off the show, though, with RVD versus Rhino, which they said it was in pretty much in an old school rules or basically a hardcore or ECW match in general. Tommy Dreamer was the special guest referee. This is not the first time you will see Tommy Dreamer throughout the night, because we're going to get to another segment with him. But we had Van Dam versus Rhino. RVD, of course, comes out with his stripper girlfriend Katie Forbes or whatnot to twerk on her way down the ring and everything. It's very mesmerizing to watch that sometimes, I will say that. But RVD, Rhino, what can I say about this hardcore match? Okay, what did you expect? In a way, it's ECW if you want to go from there. Of course, weapons are going to be involved or whatnot. Listen, I didn't hate this. I know some people aren't going to like it because it's we don't need to see two ECW guys on TV going at it with each other, and just because it's another hardcore match. Did I really hate this? Not really. I didn't think it, but I'm seeing some people say it looked pretty slow out there between Van Dam and Rhino. Of course, you knew trash cans and, steel chairs, tables and stuff. The works are going to get involved in this match in general. I think there was a couple cool spots. Yes, I did. Of course, tables being involved, Rhino going RVD through it. Of course, Katie Forbes getting involved to break the 2 count, pulling out Dreamer. Clothesline and Tommy Dreamer, by the way, too. I'm surprised she had the power to do that, but she took him down. One thing I do like about heel RVD, though, I guess he's trying not to do I thought this was funny because I'm sure people expected him to do a Rolling Thunder on the chair with Rhino on top of it, but he was like, no. And then fans pretty much said, you sold out. You sold out. He sold out because he wouldn't do a Rolling Thunder. I thought that was pretty funny when that happened. But of course, Van Dam came back with kicks, gonna go for a split-legged moonsault. Rhino got out of the way. Van Dam pretty much went down then. But as I said before, though, yeah, K Forbes took Dreamer out. RVD at the steel trash can, then pretty much had into the corner. Rhino tried to gore into RVD, but Van Dam sidestepped it. Rhino ended up running into the trash can itself, and RVD hit the 5-star frog splash for the win. Pretty much celebrating after that with Katie Forbes. Dreamer argued with him for a second. He ended up holding his hand up. Van Dam shook his hand, but RVD kicked Dreamer into the ground then right after that. Listen, I didn't hate this match. I'm sure people thought it was a little bit long, or they just didn't want to see this RVD Rhino feud continue, and probably both of these guys move on to something else, because I'm sure a lot is saying, why are we seeing another ECW battle with all these guys? Van Dam, he just sounds high every time you hear him speak, though. I will say that too. Well, at least he did something better in the ring this time, whatnot, throughout this match. But still, hopefully it's the last time we can see these two feud with each other for a while. I didn't hate it when he betrayed him at Battle of Glory and everything, because it was kind of a surprise. So RVD, heel RVD, I'm somewhat still digging into a little bit more, though. So I don't hate it all the way, but something about him and his stripper girlfriend, it is working as him as a heel. He may not be the best on the mic, because the man I'd say he looks stoned out of his mind all the time, but Van Dam smokes a lot of weed, but still, it is working, though. Sami Callihan, OVE were pretty much cutting a promo somewhere in the locker room. OVE talking about saying they're taking over Impact again. Of course, they said that both the Chris brothers will be involved in the Tag Team Open tonight to go to Hard to Kill to regain the Tag Team titles and beat the North's ass. And that tonight, Tessa Blanchard is going to go one-on-one with Madman Fulton tonight, because, they got to pick their own opponents. So Fulton's going to be unleashed on Tessa Blanchard, as pretty much Callihan said he's going to fight Ken Shamrock. He knows what Ken Shamrock is capable of, MMA legend and whatnot. But he says he's 55 years old. He's too old, and he's not gonna let him. He can't hang with him. Basically, he looks in impeccable shape. But can Ken Shamrock keep up in general? I'm actually surprised Ken Shamrock is even in a match. But I'll take Ken Shamrock being in a regular match than him being flipped by doing stupid dick spots by Joey Ryan out there. We're gonna get to that whole thing later on the night. Moose went against AC Romero. I think the last time I even saw AC Romero on Impact was at Bound for Glory, which I was there for, when he went through that table in that was that 5-6-way X Division title match with Tessa Blanchard, pushed him off the ladder and the ladder fell on top of him. That looked very brutal to watch, but Moose and AC had a really good match out there. I thought it was pretty solid. I didn't think it was going to get as much time, but for a man his size, AC Romero, I'll give him credit. He can move. I'm surprised he even did a suicide dive out there. I was kind of impressed too when I saw him at the pay-per-view also. I'm sure a lot of people saying this guy really does look like he needs to lose a little bit some here and there, but he does keep up, and I thought him and Moose brought on a pretty good match out there. Moose did, of course, win with the spear and everything, but I did like what was going on. So this was not a bad match from both of these guys. I don't think they got any feuds going on, especially Moose. I didn't beat up random people, being a 10-sport athlete or whatnot. But I thought him and AC put on a really good match, though. I will say that. James Mitchell, walking around with Susie, Su Young or whatnot, pretty much. She's still showing her around, and next thing you know, James Mitchell couldn't find her. She disappeared, and she said, "Listen, there was a girl with a big smile and wanted to show me this." And James Mitchell said, "Don't trust her." Next thing you know, she touches that noose that Su Young was kind of hung over a month or two ago, and she had flashbacks and everything showing in as Mitchell tried to stop it, saying, "You must stay near me. Do not trust Rosemary." Okay, so I guess they're trying to re-jog Su Young's memory or whatnot since touching that rope where she was hung on. So excuse me, after she was hung on from this, I guess they're trying to re-jog her memory again. But I am still interested in what's going on with the whole Susie thing. What if she will get a memory of what James Mitchell was going to do to keep manipulating her or whatnot. Michael Elgin was in an interview because he will be facing Eddie Edwards at Hard to Kill. And he did what he had to do last week because he beat Cage before and everything. He beat Eddie Edwards, but he wants more opportunities, and he knows Eddie Edwards has that trophy that he won, that Call Your Shot gauntlet thing he's still holding around. So he wanted a shot at that prize he has. And he's going to prove why Eddie Edwards cannot be hard to kill, but easy to kill at Hard to Kill. Followed by one against Raj Singh or Desi Hit Squad in general. What is Raj Singh really? Match was okay. I thought it was alright. Ba got the win. Listen, the Desi Hit Squad lose all the freaking time, so it's really hard to take these guys seriously in general. Ba Ba getting the win with the chest cavity out there, or the bonsai drop. It was okay match, but I figured Ba was gonna win after they kind of jumped them a few weeks ago. But then next thing you know, they did get back in, try to jump follow Ba, but next thing you know, the return of TJ Perkins. Honestly, the last time I really seen TJ Perkins, he was in New Japan Pro Wrestling recently in the Best of the Super Juniors tag tournament. Yeah, it was the Best of the Super Junior tag tournament. Yeah, that's what he was part of for a minute. TJP was down there, so we have not seen him in Impact for a minute, but he came back out to pretty much give the save to Follow Ba. I guess there's still a team out there, so we'll see where that goes since we have not seen Perkins out there for a minute. So he is back in Impact again. Joey Ryan. Now, I know some people are not going to like this segment. Some are going to like this segment. But this is a segment I thought was pretty funny, and I'm not sure this was a shoot or a rib, because mostly everything that's being said about this segment here is pretty true. Joey Ryan was walking until some random guy told him that Impact Management wanted to see him. He saw Impact Management sign and found out it was the bathroom. He goes in. Next thing you know, he walked into Wrestler's Court. I've heard stories about Wrestler's Court before, but that was in the WWE. And next thing you know, Tommy Dreamer is the judge. And they had the People's Court music then. The plaintiff is Joey Ryan. The reason why, because of he's exposed the business, he's broken kayfabe, he's been killing towns, doing that dick spot and whatnot. Where have I heard that before? And I'm sorry, he's a famous stick wrestler also. And the defendant, Johnny Swinger, who is suing him for 2 pay envelopes and a bottle of he stole his Rizats or Pillsats or whatnot, or he took the pills from him. I don't know. But he's not being a good brother out there. He's broken code and whatnot. So, yeah, a bag of Pillsats or whatnot. Basically, everybody was in there. You sound guys. Joey Ryan said this is not a real court. Dreamer, you're wearing a Scream costume. This is a kangaroo court, as he put it. Johnny Swinger there said, like, hey man, it's prejudice. You can't talk about kangaroo courts like that. That's a disrespect to Australia out there, okay? Next thing you know, it says, if you had a lawyer or anything, he says, no, I don't. Yeah, let's see, Joseph S. Park. He's dead to us, Tommy Dreamer said, which is true. Joseph Park does not work here anymore. He went to the WWE, so he is dead to us at this point. And basically, Dreamer said, you know what? No, we need to do this here. A little bit more space, not in the bathroom. So he moved to a bigger room then. Said, we got that access money here, folks. We have the access TV money. There was these random guys that pretty much came in, so that was a little bit better. And the first, the plaintiff, he brought in the first person to testify, DeLorean Brown, as in D'Lo Brown. Joey Ryan didn't know his name was DeLorean. Pretty much, D'Lo came in, pretty much said that Joey Ryan has disrespected this business and everything. Pretty much, he was a top plaintiff or a prosecutor out in that, as Tommy Dreamer called him, ECW rules or whatnot. And that D'Lo, he had to swear on the PWI 500. He had to swear on that because it is the gospel. So for some reason, we all must believe the PWI 500 and whatnot. And basically, though, a lot of wrestlers testified against Joey Ryan for what he has done to this business and that he has disrespected this sport. Madison Rayne said that kids are watching this show, and even she doesn't even want to show her own kid this because she is a locker room leader of Impact. Brutal Bob Evans, I thought he worked for Ring of Honor last time I checked, but then again, I have not seen Brutal Bob Evans in years, saying that the penis is a stiff move or a stack move, I believe he said. No, it's a stretch move, he said. That's a stretch, as he's put it. Kier Hogan was crying, saying it's his mustache, and Tommy Dreamer said, thank you. Tell your dad I said hello, brother. Wrong Hogan, Dreamer. Wrong Hogan. Who else testified? Gaman Singh pretty much says, in all his 42 and a half years of being in this business, this is some of the most horrible things. So he had one thing to say about this. He started choking Joey Ryan. The North was there. Next thing you know, they tried to break it up. Yes, the North held back both of them, and I like how Ethan Page just pulls out his cell phone just to record everything, and to do that, and then pretty much I guess they gave their closing arguments. Then Joey and Ryan basically pretty much tried to defend themselves, saying like that people, older generation, like old people with tennis rackets. I'm sure you know who he's talking about, and what else? Tough guys have had a chip over their shoulders, pretty much saying that I wouldn't make it in their era with the whole lollipop thing and the dick spot or whatnot. And he said that they blame him for the failures in his careers, which I don't think that's true. But basically, he pretty much said that, listen, I'm glad I'm not from that era because he's just trying to make wrestling fun again. As pretty much Giant Swinger said, bullshit. Tommy Dreamer pretty much says, guilty. Okay, any objections? And Joey Ryan said, this isn't a wedding, Tommy. And then Union Boy, Ethan Page says, no, I'm not going to do it this time, okay? I got my raise. And Josh Alexander says, you got a raise? Because you remember last time they had the wedding of, the Brian Cage one, Ethan Page went on a whole rant about going into a union and whatnot of wrestlers getting paid, but I guess he got his money this time too. So, basically, Tommy Dreamer sentenced him. You are guilty. Some random guy said, I'll get the duct tape and the broomsticks. Dream said that's weird. He said that, listen, from a man who's done extreme heights and done a stretcher job because of that, I sentence you to a match with AC Romero since he walked out of the bathroom at the last second. And whoever these random guys in the North kind of cheered. And Joey Ryan, why did I sign back with this company? I will say this. I laughed at this segment. I thought it was funny. This whole Wrestlers Court thing. I got like how D'Lo Brown says, listen, we're not a publicly traded company or a Fortune 500, because, WWE. I swear I've heard stories for years about WWE with Wrestlers Court, and I think Undertaker was the judge, and people like JBL have been in the court there, and the women, and do you really win Wrestlers Court? I heard. I don't think you really win that. Even if you try to defend yourself or whatnot, you don't really win because it's always some official thing in the back. I've heard stories about people doing this for years in the WWE. So I thought it was kind of funny how they did this, especially with Joey Ryan, because this basically sounds like a fucking shoot in a way. Listen, I've said what I've said about Joey Ryan before. I'm not a fan of the whole dick spot thing, and I just think it's fucking ridiculous to me at this point. And this is from a person that's seen it live, too, at Bound for Glory, okay? I was there, and I knew who the people that were going to take shots at, especially people that either criticized them, or people like Cornette have criticized them. But Cornette ain't really wrong about that, to be honest, and I don't know. Okay, listen, I hope Impact keeps the dick thing to a minimum and whatnot, but a very low minimum. But I'm just not a fan of him doing that. Okay, I've seen it too many times. It's nothing new, and it just looks ridiculous to me. It honestly does. But I like this segment though. I still think it was a shoot or a rib, but I enjoyed Tommy Dreamer as the judge because Tommy Dreamer shows up almost everywhere on my TV screen half the time nowadays for some reason. You never know what wrestling company is going to show up for. So I thought he was very funny in this segment, as well as guys like D'Lo Brown and Kier Hogan and Madison Rain and whatnot. They did not like the whole dick thing going on. So I thought that was the funniest segment throughout the night. The tag team open happened between Reno Scum, Rich Swann, and the Mac, OVE, and the Rascals. A good spot fest, I will say that. It ended up with the Mac getting hurt, though, as he was clutching his knee after I think Dave Chris did a dive outside, which they had to take the Mac out. Rich Swann did end up winning the match, though, after OVE was at the golden finisher. He got the roll-up on Jake Chris for the win. The North will watch him from up top, but, they pretty much, Ethan Page says, no. We gonna wait on this, okay? Just wait on it. We're gonna do something about it, but just wait on it. Could the Mac be turning heel on Rich Swann? And it looks like answers may be going on to that since he was holding his knee. If you go back after last week, you look at the Mac's expressions of Ethan Page Freeman says, you're just being his friend, aren't you? You're just kind of fall guy right now when you look at it. As even Mac looked kind of side-eyeing Rich Swann. So could he have faked it in that? Because Rich Swann did still win the match on his own. But he may turn on him at Hard to Kill, so he could be getting jealous of him at one point because Swann is getting all the attention, especially after that whole star-making performance he had last week in that Gauntlet Battle Royale, which I still call him the MVP of that entire match. So, think about that, folks. Taya, why is this a triple threat match now hard to kill with ODB? Because even, I know she got pinned last week, but why is ODB now in the match between her and Jordan Grace at hard to kill? I don't know. She doesn't like it, but she's going to do something about it, though. So watch out for that. They had an interview with her. Brian Cage was interviewed then by Jimmy Jacobs then, talking about the slump he's had recently ever since he's lost the World Heavyweight Championship. Because it's been a hard time for Brian Cage right now, okay? And, you know, you've had some big moments in this company and that. But Brian Cage knows what's going on, from the situation, the stuff with Sami Callihan and his family, to him losing the world championship, to him losing the world title again, the rematch, to him even losing that gauntlet battle royale, the little gauntlet match they did a few weeks ago, and losing to Tessa Blanchard. And he knows he's been a slump and everything, and he's trying to come back up. But he says he's going to get a title shot. Whoever wins it hard to kill, he wants that shot at the title again. But he says, what do you do during this time, huh? What are you going to do then before hard to kill? How are you going to keep yourself occupied before going back after the world championship? He wants to face a lot of guys because he knows his career, when he got an Impact, he said getting the title was easy, getting the Q was hard enough due to his injuries when he was the world champion. Brian Cage honestly became non-existent a lot because he was hurt. He did win the world title, but his injuries put him on the shelf while he was the world champion throughout his time, and that didn't do him any favors. But he wants to face guys like the Rascals or the Mac or RVD, or he's got unfinished business with Michael Elgin, and wants to face Eddie Edwards. A lot of talent, but as he continued to talk, next thing you know, RVD and Katie Forbes start pretty much coming in, making out with each other. Basically, they was trying to fuck, but they got interrupted because this was not the right room to do it in, because they were really going in on each other. Pretty much, he said, oh, wait, are you interrupting something? He says, yeah, you're interrupting something. And he says, this is an interview. He says, get anger management, dude. And then he looked in the camera, like, oh, this is on film? He says, listen, I know Cage stole a lot of my moves and everything, but come on, he lost to a girl last week. That's all on him, okay? So, hey, that's his own fault. I laughed when RVD said that for some reason. No, he says, yeah, man, you lost to Blanche. You lost to a girl, so that's all your fault, dude. But you stole all my moves, though, at the same time. And, pretty much Brian Cage, like, one of a kind, man. He's definitely one of a kind, all right? So, RVD versus Brian Cage, I'm sure we'll see that pretty soon. Tessa Blanchard went against Madman Fulton. Not much to say from here. Fulton, of course, being a large guy trying to take Tessa Blanchard out. Tessa was going to go for the, her Magnum after she had a tornado DDT on him. OVE came out and attacked Tessa Blanchard then. After that, pretty much pushing her off the rope. Pretty much they attacked Tessa. Ken Shamrock came from the save then. So I expected a DQ because they're not going to pin Madman Fulton or anything. So DQ finish, of course. Ken Shamrock came out pretty much taking down Fulton, everybody, as Fulton and Shamrock are about to go again. Sami Callihan stopped Fulton and says, no, this is mine. You go to the back. Listen, this match itself, I will say this. Ken Shamrock's doing his best out there, especially for a man his age. I still think he's in impeccable shape out there and everything. But I know people are going to say this guy either looked gassed or he should not have been out there in the ring. I thought him and Callihan did okay. It was what it was. That's all I say. I'm surprised this was even a match, but they must like to keep Ken Shamrock around for these sporadic appearances and whatnot. Listen, I gave him all the credit in the world for what he tried with Moose, even though it was all, overbooked and whatnot. I love the build up to that feud, and I thought the match was it was okay when I was there, Bound for Glory. But it was cool to see Ken Shamrock live in general, to see him wrestle again. He did his best, but this match here, Shamrock's still taking bumps. He took some heavy ones, but I think one thing you can point out was when the referee was down, Shamrock had the ankle lock because it was a ref bump, and Sami Callihan used the ref as a shield. Fulton came out. He did his end of days move that looked horrible, getting him back to the ground. That just looked very, very bad. Okay, it did, but pretty much Callihan put the ankle lock on him, and, it was by ref stoppage or submission hold then. But basically, right after that, Fulton just kills Shamrock then, hits him with a big suplex to the outside of ring, just just kills Ken Shamrock. Callihan pretty much had to hold him off. So that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. And the music hit. You know, he started chanting OVE, and that was the end of the show. So there's a lot of things to say about Impact tonight. Number one, Ken Shamrock can still take a beating out there and somewhat do his best to try to do a match. I'm not mad at that all the way. I enjoyed the Wrestler's Court. I thought that was pretty funny and had some good lines in there too. So I still think it just was a shoot because this shit is true of what people say about Joey Ryan. All this is true, okay? This is not a lie. Mac maybe turned on the Swan. What else was on here? I thought Moose and AC Romero had a pretty good match. Van Dam and Rhino's pretty good. Like I said, I'm enjoying heel RVD. Tommy Dreamer's all over the show. I feel like nowadays he's just on any wrestling show. You never know what he's going to show on and stuff. So that's another thing. We saw a return of TJ Perkins. So it was some things going on in this show as they built the Hard to Kill, but they still got a few weeks left. So we'll see what happens during that time span. Okay? We will see what happens. But other than that, that's my Impact Wrestling review. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. See you guys later. Peace out. I gotta go check out this Wrestle Kingdom press conference. Peace.